the need for making notes and producing drawings was well received in my last production. I will continue that theme a little further by showing you how I reconstructed and fitted the dial glass to the back reflector, and then fitted all of that assembly back to the radio chassis. I'll deal with fitting the drive cord a little later. I have written in my notes, number 1, fit dial glass to bottom bracket. You will see that I have done just that. 2 and 3, it reads fit top bracket as per diagram onto back reflector plate and loosely place station cursor onto back reflector plate. I have done just that. On to 4, it reads fit the back reflector plate onto the chassis. Note well, bottom self tap screws only. Moving on to 5, it reads push the glass dial with bottom bracket up under the top bracket. Note well, align the second bottom holes through to the chassis and tighten. Finally, on to 6, it reads tighten top screws to secure top clips. This circuit diagram that I have been using was lifted direct from this service manual, Radio and Television Servicing. The editors are E. Malloy and W.F. Poole. These books, or service volumes, have all kinds of, you can see all of this, chock-a-block with circuit diagrams of radios and televisions. Predominantly British, but there are 1 or 2 American ones that were made in America for the British market. These came onto the market just after the Second World War, and they came out each year right through the 1950s, 1960s, 1970s through to I think it was the late 80s. The last one that I have is I think 1988-89, but I can't be sure on that one. I've accumulated all of mine because I was in the radio and TV servicing trade for just over 36 years. In here there is absolutely nothing about how I would restring or fit the drive cord to the radio. So therefore I have had to make notes and calculate how I am going to go about doing just that. Because obviously I would not have had any information because it's not here. So yes, very useful these books, but they have got their limitations. The station cursor travels up and down the dial. It has therefore to be secured at each end by the drive cord. It is important for me to note the general layout of the small 5 pulleys, and there are 5. 1, 2, 3 and 2 more here side by side make a total of 5. I also need to note the general position in relation to the 5 small pulleys, the tuning capacitor master pulley, and also the tuning drive spindle, which is secured on the underside of this chassis. Once I have all those drawn onto paper, I can work out the excursion of the drive cord. Here you will see I've spent some time working out the excursion and the length of the drive cord that I will require. I will begin by showing you a few basic tools that you'll require for fitting drive cord. This set of little hooks and brad holes and other little pointy things here, they're all very useful, and I use this clamp. I use that for clamping the tuning capacitor. You certainly don't want the tuning capacitor to be moving backwards and forwards whilst you are threading drive cord onto the master drum. Right, I will show you what I've drawn here. Well, the tuner drum, as I've written here, but it's the master pulley, is 64mm across. I've done the maths here to work out how much drive cord will wrap around that, and then I've drawn the back of the reflector plate and the small pulleys, and of course the manual tuning spindle just there, and I've worked out the excursion of the drive cord. Don't forget that each end, one side's got to go up as well as the other side, because the station cursor is attached at each side. So if that side goes up, that side has to go up. That's why they have 5 small pulleys attached to the back of the reflector plate. So I've got it where the drive cord comes round following the arrows, wraps around there 1.5 times, goes up to the front pulley, down, up, across to the other side, up, over, crosses over, and then round halfway around the master pulley and back to the tension spring. Now I've had to measure all of these because all of this has to be made up before I cannot fit this as though I was threading a sewing machine or something of that sort. So it has to be made up like this in a big loop with the tension spring at the end. So I've measured from each pulley, small pulley that is, and also in relation to the manual tuning spindle and also the master pulley. That's why I got all these numbers here. They're all in millimetres. I've added all those together, taking into account how many times it will wrap around the master pulley, which is roughly about 1.5 times. in one direction and around about 1 1/4 in the opposite direction. Taking all that into consideration, it gave me the length of how much drive cord I would require, which is 621 millimeters times 2. So there we go, that's how I've done that. This is the cord that I've used for stringing, if you will, or as a substitute for the drive cord. I can't get drive cord anymore. I have tried, but somehow it just doesn't seem to be available here. So I bought this from a fishing tackle shop. I'm not a fisherman myself, so I had to explain what I was requiring, and then on the strength of that they recommended this would do the job. And I've used it for about this is the 5th radio now, and it seems to work fairly well. And here we have it, all complete. You notice the either end the cursor is going towards the top.
Car.com's price. Nearest ATS Euromaster Centre. Call 0800 60.
Right, have to excuse the dirty finger marks. Oh dear. And it did look so clean before I fitted the drive cord. In my next video I hope to have the dial illuminated and its speaker repaired and cleaned. This poor thing, it's got some cracks in the paperwork, and the basket is quite rusty at the back. And the cone is also off balance, but I should be able to make a repair on that. Probably have it as good as new almost. Until my next Regentone RG99 /2 restoration video, it's me, Phil, saying toodles. 73s.